going to talk about the power position or pitch position 2 in this video, which is a key point in the pitching delivery. The power position is as my lead leg is coming down, the foot is just about to turn to land. So the front foot's coming down. When the front foot actually lands, it opens and lines up towards my target, okay? But in the air is our power position where the foot is still close, okay? So we're going to look at power position real quick. I want to give you some teaching points to look for and teach at power position. So if I'm pitching, I'm coming down, I'm going to pause at my power position. This again, my foot would actually still be in the air at this point in power position. It hasn't opened to land. That foot opening is our trigger. But now we're going to work, I want you to work with your pitchers from balance 1 to power position. We can work on leg lift, lead leg path, hand separation, hand position. Here are some key points at power position to look at. We can look at it when they're paused, like I am here, or we can pause a video that's full speed and show them where they're at their power position. Here are your key points to look for as a teacher and key points to coach, very simply, your athletes. At power position, we want to maintain weight back. Now, my weight's not fully shifted back, like a lunge. My weight is slightly shifted back. Let's go back to that athletic posture. Ask your athlete to get an athletic posture. Ask them to shift their weight slightly back. This is what weight should look like at power position. It's easy to maintain if we've got good foot posture and we're allowing the lead leg to come down ahead of us, okay? But power position, weight slightly back. We've talked about hips and shoulders staying closed. They're still slightly closed at this point. We know the lead arm is up in that position. We know the back arm is up in this position. We just talked about it in that last video. But power position is easy points to look at. A couple posture points from the backside we want to focus on here in addition to what we've already talked about. Get behind with your camera, get behind with the naked eye. What we want to see at this position is the hip, the back glute, slightly behind us, okay? What we also want to see, and for teaching purposes, we're going to teach that back knee doesn't cross a straight down line from our toes. Now at regular speed, we will start seeing this at this point, but it is a fantastic teaching point to practice from balance 1 down to power position and telling kids to keep that knee slightly back. Because what that does is it teaches us to keep our hips back and keeps our glute loaded at this point. So we want maximal power stored at this point in our power position before the foot turns, which is our trigger to explode, turns to land. Okay? So weight slightly back, arms in the position like we said in the last video. Check that back side, check that knee position, and also check the back shoulder. Okay? We've got the lead arm on the front side. We've talked about getting that elbow up in a good position, but you'll often have pitchers, they can do all that, but that back arm, even though it's in a good position, is now on my front side. We want to make sure that that back elbow is actually behind my shoulder at this point, on my perfect line to my catcher. You're standing behind, you're going to see that elbow is slightly behind the shoulder, okay? Beware of, obviously, the elbow too far on the front side. We're not going to get the rotation we need to develop power. But also beware of someone getting over-rotated or that arm extending way too far back, okay? How we can fix that if we see that, if we dial it back to the arm path video, think of as the thumbs break down to separate, that elbow, you can teach that elbow to stay behind the shoulder for a kid. You could actually use a wall, standing in front of a wall slightly behind you, have a kid just work that arm path and teach that creating a maximal distance that elbow can come back. Teach a proper arm path. Now something like this is actually simple to teach, simple to see, and easy concept for a youth to understand, but hard to adapt. Okay? It takes repetition after repetition after repetition. So when you're finding a youth struggling with something, not just that arm path, but anything in general, repetition is key. Add repetitions to your warm-up throws. Add repetitions to practice. Add repetitions in your bedroom at home. Draw a line in the carpet, not with anything that you can't get out, but draw lines, use walls, whatever it takes to create repetition. Thousands of repetitions to recreate that muscle memory, and the kids will get it. It can be incredibly frustrating if every time you go out you're harping on the same thing. Give them the tools to create that muscle memory.